Oi, oi, oi. Right. Let's see if anyone pops in. Let's put a bit of background music on while we're waiting. What should we listen to? What do I got? Yes, by myself. Like, this is subliminal messaging. It's mind games. It's like it's a double trick because it's like making a joke about subliminal messaging, but then it's also like subliminal messaging getting into your brain. I'm playing 4D chess, is what I'm saying. Hey, Eric. How you doing? Oh, I tried to put music on. Where did it go? There it is. What should we put on? Let's put this one on. Unreleased tune. Yeah, it has been a while. I haven't streamed for I haven't streamed all month, basically. I kind of died after finishing the pack because that was quite that was quite a lot of work. So I kind of just detonated into a pile and didn't do much for like the whole month. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I'm trying to be streaming again more. I've got some streams planned in the future. So yeah, trying to get back on it. I want to do some beat eat soon, maybe this Friday or maybe Saturday, depending. I was thinking about maybe doing a beat eat. See if anyone's around because I've missed doing those. Yeah, I'd like that too. It'd be good fun. We'd have a good laugh. I've got a whole list of crazy ideas. I was coming up with another one this morning. Oh yeah, I need to write that down. Now that I think about it. Of silly BE ideas. Hey Scratchy. How are you doing, lovely bun? Let me write that idea down. The idea I had was like we all make like a section of a drop. So it's like kind of like 4 bars of a drop. And but we don't tell each other like what we're doing. And then we did 16 bars. We all had the same drums and then we had to make a drop with 16 bars. But I was thinking like we do it kind of more like shorter scale, so like someone makes a really short thing and then it goes into something else or something maybe even shorter, like 2 bars. We'll see. I'm glad you're good. I hope I hope it's visually pleasing. This is just a random thing I found on Pexels, but I thought it looked cool. And I'm using it to hypnotize you to buy my sample pack. Ooh, buy my pack. It's really good. It has almost 800 sounds and it's really cheap and ooh. So yeah, that is the theme of today's stream. If the title didn't give it away, I'm gonna be going through every single sound or every single category in the pack, and kind of talking about the sound design or like my thought process behind them. Yeah, maybe open up some of the projects and actually show you the actual sound design because that sounds a bit funny. Let me just gonna post the stream link to a couple servers just to shamelessly plug. Self promo. I think I'm allowed to do this. Oh god. Am I allowed to post that? I don't know. Let's go. If I get told off, then I get told off. Let's see. We'll see. Into crypto? Oh god, no, you don't want to do that. No, donate your money into crypto, which is way better. All right. Oi, oi, oi. Test, test, test. Yeah, I'm wiggling. I can see me. You may notice that the layout is a little bit different this time around. And that's because I realized that my old stream layout, I had it cut to the left side to hide, because FL Studio Image Line it basically doxes you with your name at the top whenever you make a new project. So I was cutting that out, but I realized that it cut out all my sample packs. So I've changed that slightly. That's why it looks a bit different. It looks like I have a widescreen monitor. Hey, Splash. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah. Yeah, and yeah, so I can show you the packs. We have the pack right here. Well, spoilers. And I was going to just go through it all. Show you all the sounds. Talk about how I made all the sounds. I'm only going to be talking about the sounds that I made. Because this was a community pack. So a bunch of different people kind of worked on it and sent stuff for it. Obviously, I'm just going to talk about the sounds that I made. Yeah. That's basically it. We can get right into it, I guess. Okay, so I'll talk about the categories to start. We have the bases, which is broken up into lots of different subcategories. Yeah, so all the main categories, they have lots of subcategories within them. I think this is the final version. Yeah, so we have the bases, which have 808s, bass design sessions, bass layers, bass loops, bass one-shots, and then the color-based stuff. So the color-based layers, color-based loops, and color-based one-shots. The bonus thing, you only get this if you buy the sample pack during the fundraiser. And that just comes with the demo track and the artwork and a thank you page. But that's only if you buy it, so go buy it. Hey, Heath. Heath. Oh god, I still do that. I'm so sorry, Heath. One of these days I'll get it right first time. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. And then we got the drums. We got some claps, cymbals. Cymbals are broken down into hi-hats and rides. We got fills, kicks, loops, ploink snares, which you'll find out what those are if you don't know in a minute. Rims, snares, top loops. And then we got Foley and thank you for understanding. This is 100 miles an hour dough brain going at the moment. It's nice of you to join us. And then we have the Foley, which has field recordings, Foley one-shots and textures. The textures, they're one of my favorite categories, so we're going to have fun talking about that. Then we have the effects, which has all these crazy things. Back effects, downlifters, impacts, melodic hits, melodic misc, random misc, risers, soundscapes, vinyl crackle, zaps. Lots of quirky stuff. Then glitches, they're good fun. Can't go wrong with a bunch of glitches. Melodic stuff, arps, chords, stabs, melody loops, pads, tonal one-shots, turnarounds. It's pretty full. Then we got MIDI in the non-samples, so that's MIDI and synth presets. Yep. And then we have vocals, a couple acapellas, chants, processed vocals, vocal ambience, and vocal chops. So that is Colors 03 in a nutshell. So let's go. Let's get right into it. 808s. I think this is the first time I included 808s in the pack, in the colors pack. I've never done that before. Yeah, I just thought it would be a fun inclusion because we never really have like dedicated kind of subs. We never had those in the previous ones. So these are just like your kind of classic like trappy. Ooh, that's a cool one. Those kind of things. Those are 808s. You hear those a lot in like trap music and whatever. You hear those a lot. They're pretty simple to make. I can briefly run down. It's pretty easy. Nothing too quirky crazy. When Serum loads. Yeah, I'll just do like kind of quick sound design showcases. Because, yeah. So yeah, all of these basically is a sine wave with a pitch automation. And then you play a really low note, like a D or a C, actually. Yeah, if you're making 808s, if you put them on a C, then that's just like convenient when you turn it into an instrument track. You don't have to, like, to change the root note within, like, you don't have to change it here because it maps it to C automatically, and then everything will stay in key. That's just like a little quality of life thing. So yeah, we got the sine wave. Got a LFO on the pitch. Turn it to envelope so it doesn't loop. And then it's all about just like fine tuning like the shape and the pitch amount. Like that sounds cool to me. And then it's just about kind of dialing in distortion. Dialing in like noise, like slight noise, like easy stuff like that. And yeah, that's like the bass sound. And then what I did with these ones to like get them to sound all different was just messing with different distortion presets in various distortion plugins. So a big one is Thermal, for example, because this just has like a quadrillion like presets just for and like all those can like drastically change the sound and like make it sound cool. Another good one is iZotope Trash 2, if I can find it. This is a classic one. Classic distortion boy. That sounded weird. That's quite cool. Whoa. Yeah, and yeah, just flicking through those, seeing what sounds cool, basically. And then it's just a case of like EQing all the muddiness at the like all this stuff here. You just kind of do it by ear, because sometimes when you're like adding a bunch of crazy distortion, it can kind of like mess up all this area and sound really like crummy. Or you could go like extreme with it and do like a notch filter and do some funky stuff. Yeah, that's basically the 808s. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy. Okay, and now we move on to the bass design sections. These are another new thing for Colors Free. We haven't had these before. And they're kind of like larger, like longer in length samples that you can resample. So let me play some. crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So yeah, the thought behind these is like you can like chop them up and use them in interesting ways. Maybe as like fills or like main bases. So we just like do that, get random patterns, and then kind of like fade them. And then you can just kind of like scrub through them because they're quite long. You can get and then yeah, and then whatever sounds cool, you can use it in your tracks. I'm pretty sure all of these were made with Form by Native Instruments, which is a Reaktor plugin. Form is one of these plugins that oh shit, can you not hear? Oh no. Oh no. Thank you for letting me know. Aha. I was on the wrong audio driver. Let's test this now. Yep. Pro streamer dough right here. Thank you for letting me know, Scratch. Oh no. Deary me. It's been a while. Oh dear. Cool. I'll go back over the 808s quick because you didn't hear those. So yeah, these are the 808s. Oh dear. Funny. And oh, that's so funny. Oh dear. I'm laughing at that. So yeah. Yeah, you didn't really need to hear the sound for the first one. It's not too important. It's just like a sine wave, a distorted sine wave with a pitch envelope on it. All good. These are the more interesting ones that you need to hear. So, oh dear, funny. Okay, so yeah, these all of these were made with Form, and I haven't actually bought Form, but you can download the demo, and you get a 30-minute trial, and it just like resets every time you like use it, or like every time you close it. So that's nice. So you can make sounds with it still. You just can't save the preset and have it load within Form. And I think with most of these, like these were made with by throwing vocals. Because I was trying to get some kind of like muerte style basses. Let me just throw a random vocal. These are cool. Let me go to the splice folder and get just a random ass acapella vocals. Random. Choose that one. Yeah, sure. So Form is like a granular plugin, but it's like a really weird granular plugin. So the white line that you can see here, that's the pitch tracking. So what it's trying to do is like map the pitch of the like source audio, which can sound a bit quirky. So what I do is I play like a C. I'm just gonna put a cheeky bass rack on it, just so it sounds a bit louder. So yeah, you get these weird. So this is the original. Just a vocal, just an acapella. And if we turn off the flat, if we press flatten pitch, it will stay as like one note, whichever the note we have here. So that's quite good for like specific resampling stuff, or if you wanted to make like like rhythms with this. So it's like, so that's cool. And I think all I did was just kind of like pitch it down as far as it could go. Yeah, there we go. And then it's all about just like distorting the hell out of it and then adding dispersion. Or in my case, emphaser. Yeah, I probably distorted it like way crazy more. Let's put a camel crusher on it. Oh, what have I pressed? Oh god. Let's see. So yeah, that's basically the base of the sound, and then you just kind of fine tune it. All of this stuff is like, I would make a basic kind of chain or like thing, and then you just kind of like tweak it until it sounds cool. And with this kind of setup, you can just throw in different. So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette. So let's try that one. We can just throw that into form, with the exact same effects chains. And we get a totally different kind of sound. So yeah, that's always fun to mess with. So that was all of these. Where is it? Yeah, that was all these. Just caught the pat off. Thank you for supporting it. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. When's the next jam? What do you mean by jam? Do you mean our next beat, or I'm not sure I know what you mean. But yeah, that's how I made those quirky sounds in the bass design session. And I've made some fun loops and stuff with those in the past. Yeah. Bass layers. Okay. One thing about this pack is if I was gonna, I found it quite hard to kind of like organize things. I didn't like know where to categorize stuff, so I did my best. It's not amazing, but honestly, like if you want to rearrange it and stuff, go ahead, because you will probably get it nicer than I could. But with the bass layers, I was like trying to think of these as like things that don't stand alone as like individual basses, but would work well on top of another bass. So they're kind of more like textury. I'll just show you. Oh, my songs. Well, I have 2 songs coming out on the upcoming Ponies at Dawn Pandemonium album, which is being released on August 5th. That was a really good plug. Yeah, I have a song with the Mega Collab group. So Paloris, CC120, oh god, pressure. Wind Blossom, Orbits, and Imixo. That was pressure. And I also have a solo release with Leaf Song, which I'm excited for people to hear. So, yeah, new tunes very soon, TM. Alrighty though, I'll see you later. But yeah, these are all, so you could hear that like, none of those really had any sub bass. They were all just kind of like top end, sparkly, squongly stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that album's looking pretty good. If you haven't checked out the pre-release, well, the one pre-release song, that was really good, but also the trailer for it. Go check that out because it's shaping up to be a really good album. As always, because Pad have that quality. Yeah, so I won't talk about these ones because the lovely Eva made those for us. But yeah, I won't break down like all of these individually. I can talk about these ones though, because these are quite cool. Yeah, I enjoyed making these. The basic idea with these is shamelessly stolen from Virtual Riot. He has a whole tutorial on the Disciple channel of how he made these. So I'll go over it just quickly. The premise that he came up with was he wanted to see what happens when he FM'd two really high sine waves with each other. So to do that, he used Serum. He made two sine waves, and then he turned them all the way up, like octave all the way up, semitone all the way up, fine tune up as well, and then the coarse pitch like a lot, like up. So I won't play this now because, well, I'll play it and it'll sound really high pitched and horrible. Oh yeah, tinnitus moment. And then what he would do is make like a steppy modulation, kind of like this, and put that on a bunch of parameters. I think he did it on the coarse pitch. All the way up. I think you do it on the FM as well. Ooh, weird sound. Here we go. And as you mess with it and like play around with the pitch and the FM, you get these really quirky kind of like digital artifacts. He like kind of explains it in the video. It's like we're reaching the kind of top of the how high the synth could go or something, and it's like aliasing. I don't know. I don't understand it, but it sounds cool. But yeah, that's just and then just literally tweaking all of these parameters up here and the FM just nets you like completely different sounds. And they all sound really cool. And you can like get all these crazy things going with it. So these work as like cool it's like sustains. So like this one is like more a sustain. So you could, if you turn it up, that could be a cool background layer. Like that just like continuously goes. Or you could do what I did, which was like make kind of like one shot. So if you put it to envelope mode, then it just plays like once. And then it stops, which depending on what you want, you can do either of those. And then yeah, to get all like the different variations of it, I think I just like mess with the detune. Yeah, just like messing with like the effects and yeah, like even just changing the unison amount just like changes the tone, which is cool. Yeah, that's basically that sound. These sounds, I don't remember how I made these. I think I was using M freeform phase for these sounds on like a tonal percussion. Let's try that. Let's see what that does. M3 phase is like a quirky boy. It's free, and it's part of the Melda suite, which if you haven't picked up, go do that right now because it's fucking awesome. I don't know what it does, but it sounds cool. I think I just like did a crazy like stabby comb filtery kind of shape, and turned the depth and everything all the way up. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like. Yeah, that's basically those sounds. Where are they? Bass layers. Yeah, and depending on whatever you put in, you get different sounds, and you can like, because they're like really atonal, because it's coming from like atonal material. When you kind of fuck with them, they're like not tonal at all, so you can just shift it around and get quirky sounds, or you could do the best plugin ever made and disperse it even more, so it goes even crazier. Yeah, that's basically those sounds. I think I did like some delay stuff, so I had like a really quick delay, but like ping. Whoops, but like, yeah, like a really fast ping pong delay, just to give it like a nice stereo. Yeah, cool sounds. These are probably cool for like rhythm. Like you could put that on like every drum beat or like every offbeat, just to add like cool background flavor to your drops. But yeah, that's those. I like that sound. It's cool. Very cool. I might keep it. We'll keep it there because I like the sound. Where are we now? Bass loops. Here's some fun ones. Okay, so I'll just go through them quick. That's all the bass loops. I won't go over these ones because, again, the wonderful Eva, who we love and adore and who makes amazing music that you should check out, made those. I can go over some of these. A lot of these were from older projects that I kind of dragged in to put in the pack. So they might be, I can't remember how I made all of them, but we can have a look. Yep, that's just probably just a quirky wavetable with, that sounds like I did it in Serum. I used the multi, what is it? High notch filter a lot, which is like a double filter. So it's a high pass, but it has this little frequency thing that has a notch filter. This is like a really super like fucking basic technique that I learned from Virtual Riot, of course, where I've learned all of my knowledge. And it just, if you put an LFO on it, let's do a bit of fine tuning here. you can hear it has that kind of like vowel-y sound to it. And using the I prefer it to just like the normal high pass filter. That kind of has more of like a wow 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 sound to it, but this one kind of sounds like it's going like yeah yeah yeah, you know. And I think that just sounds a bit cooler, so I use that technique a lot, and I use that filter a lot. Oh yeah, and I probably used like a weird ass. I probably used a weird wavetable, and another cool tip is to sound design with processing on already, because like this kind of sucks. That sounds like weak and it sounds kind of bad. But if you process with like an effects change, so this is just like my basic like effects rack with like distortion and compression and stuff, and just it like already shapes your sound in a way that like you can like more confidently tweak it, you know. Doesn't always sound cool though. But yeah, that's just a little trick. That's just how I made that. Just that kind of filter on a growly wavetable. These ones. These ones I showed off last stream, but I'll go over it quickly again. This is a technique I learnt from Sora. They did a Twitter video on how they made this kind of bass. And the setup is you have a sampler that has a snare. Let me find a random ass snare. Wow, I have a lot of snares. That was a weird snare. What are these snares, bro? I just want to bat, you know? There you go. What was that weird one, bro? Yeah. So you have a sampler. I use Faceplant because you can contain it all in like one interface. I think they use Faceplant as well for the video. It's just convenient because you can like send these to like different chains or process them all together. And you only need like one MIDI note. Whoa, weird. That sounds weird on its own. So we add a analog with a sine wave, and then we just make a sub. Oh wow. Yep, we'll make a. Oh god, I'm not very quick in Faceplant at all. We need a pitch envelope. That goes pew. Like how we did the 808. Oh god, which one do I do? Let's do that one. Bit too long. Yeah, basic sub. Sounded weird. Yeah, and that layered with the snare can sound cool. You gotta kind of like pitch the snare so it like kind of fits with the sub, and like I try it with like a bunch of different notes just to see if it sounds cool. That kind of sounds like the note it should be. And then you just distort the heck out of it. And when you distort the sub with the snare, it just gets all like crunchy. When you distort this is like another like side tip. distorting a sub or just like a sine wave with like anything that doesn't have low end, just makes it sound like crazy crunchy, and that, yeah. I don't do that a lot, but it's cool. Where's the distortion? Distortion. This is gonna get loud. Where's the master? Yeah. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's basically the technique. And again, it's one of those things we have to fine tune. It takes ages to get like, because this kind of sounds, doesn't really sound like, don't sound like those at the moment, but that's because you just gotta like annihilate it with processing. Let's put the classic bass rack on it just to get it sounding. Oh, that's a cool transient on it. Just to get it sounding beefier. And these sound like I put a bunch of dispersion on it as well. So let's just do that quick. Yeah, that's basically that sound. I don't think there's... Yeah, I don't think there's any crazy things to do with that. But like once you have this setup, you have the snare going into the distortion and then being processed more. You can just throw in any old snare. Let's, if I can find one. Scroll, and that one. That one, let's try it. There you go, and then you have a whole new bass sound. And you just keep doing that. Like, because every snare is going to be tuned like differently, you're going to want to like mess with the pitch when you do that. But yeah, there we go. That is, I like that previous one. If I can go back to that. That's pretty cool. I'll save these as showing stuff off. Save these because they're kind of cool. Right, next up. That's a weird one. That just sounds like a bunch of dispersion, but like to the max. So in multi-band delay, on this preset, you can copy the preset here. I was gonna say pause the video, but it's a stream. But you can pause it on YouTube because YouTube's cool. Yeah, this is the preset that I've made that makes everything sound squongy. Yeah, you can hear that crazy effect. That's because of the scale knob, so if it's just here, it's not really doing anything. And then the more you turn it up, the more squongy it becomes. So that's basically that sound. That sounds like I use Vidal as well to make a. I use that a lot. Vidal's good for making weird basses. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, all of these ones and these ones down here. I made these with Vidal, which I really recommend. But I mean, everyone probably has it. It's free. But what you can do is drag in sounds or like samples into the wavetable. So let's use one of the bass layers because they're quite fun and digital. So you have these three kind of modes. Oh, is it not loaded for you guys? That's very odd. Wow, that's really weird. On my stream, I can see Vidal. Can you guys see it on this? Wow, that's very odd. Let me close it. I can see it on my screen, but you guys can't. What the heck? What's going on there? That's very odd. What a weird bug. Bido is a slow boy. He do be big. Hey Sully, how you doing? Yeah, that's really odd. It's not wanting to play. What a rude boy. I wonder if I can... let's add another source. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm not a streamer at all. He'd been lurking. He'd be in the shadows. He'd be in the weeds. Ready to heckin' pounce. Display capture? Vital. Oh, that worked. Hello? Do you see? Yeah? Yeah, it looks like you can see that. Okay. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm gonna choose one of these quirky layers. And in here you can see there's like 3 different algorithms. Your natural habitat's very good. And yeah, you just kind of experiment with whatever sounds cool. And that sounds awful. Ooh, that didn't sound awful. That sounded cool. Oh shit. That was unintentional, but that sounded really cool. That's I've gave you a new trick, guys. That's an easy way to make a sustain, like, background synth. Just drag in one of these bass layers into Vital. That's really cool. Oh, that's as low as it goes. Ooh. Crunchy. Let's route that to the same bass thing. Ooh. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. So all of these sounds I think I made with Digitalis on the effects chain, which I am still planning on doing a full Digitalis breakdown video. Yeah, it sounds like some crazy ass Transformers stuff, right? Yeah, anytime I want to make some like digital sounding sounds that aren't the other one that I made, I always reach for the Vital. Digitalis. I should call the video that. But yeah, my thought process, God, I'm so out of it today. I do apologize. My thought process in making these quirky sounds, especially like these ones, is putting Digitalis at like the start of the effects chain. And what that does is like, when you use the telecommunications thing to like remove a bunch of frequencies and get it all like spectrally sounding, when you like then compress and distort that, it like brings all that stuff kind of back up, like all the stuff that it was like losing. And I don't know, it just sounds cool. Like, let's get a bit of movement going on with this. Ooh. Hey Hyper, how's it going? It's nice to see you. Welcome to your first stream. That is weird. But yeah, and then oh, I love this plugin. It's so cool. Just messing with how much is being like taken away and stuff is fun to do. And I think with these ones I did like a more like synthy pattern, so it had like to get like a couple different notes. because it's like really atonal again, it doesn't really matter where you like put. It don't really matter where you put the notes as long as it sounds cool. That kind of needs another layer to it, I think. Maybe. But yeah, so you don't just have to mess with the telecoms. Using this bit, this is like a spectral, this is like a filter essentially, but you can draw on it and it sounds weird. And you get some weird ass sounds from it. And yeah, that was the thought process behind like these sounds. Obviously you can hear this one has like more of a pitched descend going on. It's like, oh, I muted it. Oopsie. Yeah, it has like more of a pitch thing going on, like. Which sounds quite fun. I like that sound. And again, yeah, just throwing in. I do all this stuff with the intent of being able to throw more stuff in to get even more sounds. What was that? Number 7. Let's throw this one in Wavetable. See what it does. That's also cool. What about this one? Just slight variations on everything. What about if we try the vocode mode? See how drastic a difference that is. That's kind of cool. Has a lot more high end than the Wavetable. Yeah, so it's just about messing around with it and seeing what works. That's gonna be a theme. I've said that like a billion times, but that's that's how all this stuff works. Cool, yeah. So there's a bunch of ones like that. Anything called like Squongle or Stomp Squongle or what are these? Mega Squongle. I mean, who comes up with these names, eh? But yeah, anything like that. That's basically the thought process behind those sounds. These ones. Mid-tempo. Big fan of mid-tempo here. Let's bring it down to 100 BPM to show these off. These are really easy as well. Kind of similar to the 808 in like concept, where it's just like a really basic shape that you kind of shape with distortion. So we have a saw wave. Let's do a funny pattern. A cyberpunky pattern really quick. Let's just... Something like that, you know. Let's put it on like F. And then you make it into a super saw. That already sounds cool. And then you kind of make it plucky. Like, like depending on how much high end you want. That could be cool to like automate with a macro, so it starts down here and then you go. Really easy stuff. This isn't groundbreaking whatsoever. And then yeah, just like the 808, you shape it with distortion. And the distortion like type and the effects that you take like put before and after it really have like an effect on the sound. So let's go through my favorites. Like, let's just loop it. Ooh, I will do this quick actually, just to show what it sounds like as we go up. Whoop. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's basically those sounds. Just really simple, like Superstore pluck going into some crazy ass distortion. And it's, yeah, just making a random... see, I like doing these as loops because you can chop bits out of them and kind of like use them as fills, or like kind of just like mess with them in that way. Really simple. Nothing crazy whatsoever. That's another snare bass. I think I've labeled all the snare basses so you know what technique it is. These are cool. I think I used these with... Let me double check. I think I can load this project up because I have this one saved. Yeah, we'll go for a couple of them. Let me just load it up. Don't know how long it'll take. I don't think it's too big of a project, this one. So how are we all doing? Okay, it's done. I don't have the small talk. Let me see what I did here so I can talk about it. Digitalis. Yes. That doesn't have anything on it. Digitalis. Yep. Digitalis. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Cool. This... One segundo. Let me get rid of Vital. Don't need you now. Remove. Yes. There we go. I was gone this whole time. Nice. Let Epic. Very cool. Good. That is fine. Okay, yeah, we're good. Professional streamer. Oh no. Yeah. So this was... Oh, I made these in this project. We can see how I did those. That's convenient. Cool. Yeah, these ones. Let's see what... Let's reverse engineer. That's just a basic... Let's see. Oh yeah, I think what I was showing my friend, that you can use images to like create sounds, which is another video I'm planning, because there's cool ways, there's cool stuff that I have to show about that. It's a cool topic. So yeah, stay tuned if I ever make that. And I was showing that you can drag in images into Serum and turn them into wavetables, and they would normally come out quite like gritty and cool sounding. So this is just a really basic kind of gritty sound that I'm running through. Very cool. Wow, is that all that's going through? Just one. But what is the pick? It is, I think it was, I was chatting with Brew at the time. So it's like a picture of his OC. But as you'll see when I show Digitalis, I think this is the same picture as I use. Yeah. In Digitalis, I hope you can see this. Yeah, you can. Nice. Oh, if I keep clicking on that. So as I was showing before, Digitalis, you can like draw in stuff, but you can also import images here. Oh, you can't see that. But if you click the little thingy here, you can import images. And I was just messing around, and I used just one of the like Bruce pics, and it just sounded really cool as like a filter, because it just made everything like really like vowely and like spectrally, just like with no effort. Like it really has a vowely texture to it, and it's just so like it was so easy. Let me put on 12. Oh, it's because I think I put a thingy on it. Why is that not changing that at all? That's very odd. Yeah, that's very weird, isn't it? If I turn off sync, maybe. Yeah, that's what it's doing to the sound. Maybe speed that. I think it's like all of these bits. You can see like all the like black dots at the top there. Just serve to make it sound crazy. Wonder what a bunny pic sounds like. I can show you. Let me duplicate this. Where is it? Save preset. But yeah. Okay, let me hide the stuff. And I can go on to import image. I think I have some bunny pics on this computer. Do I not? Must find bunny pic. Let's see. Looking through every folder. Scratch, send me a bunny pic. One that I can use on stream. And I will turn it into a filter. So I forget which way around it is, but like, I think it's like the black like splodges are when the sound is being allowed through, and the white splodges is like silence, right? Yeah, because it only kind of the sound appears in the center where all the like splodges are. Oh, I just love that sound. It's so cool. It feels like such a cheat because that is literally the only effect that is on this sound. That's the original, and then you get this crunchy kind of yoyi. Ah, it's so cool. Of course, you can like process these even further, and obviously they need like a sub as well. But yeah. Digitalis, man, it's cracked. It do be a oingy boingy plugin. I have received a bunny pic. Let me save that to images. And then let me... I like that one. That one's gonna be good because there's very clear contrast between the darks and the whites. Oh yeah, this is gonna be mwah. Let me import the bunny. I'll do the one that you did first. Love it. There you go. So you can see that did a really good job actually of like contrasting it because it was just a sketch, right? And this is what this sounds like. Oh, it sounds like the spawn of Satan, like with a bad connection. Cool. Yeah, because this one's like really thin lines. It it's like really spectrally, because all the black parts is like the, so if you imagine this on the x-axis, that's the time frame, so that's why if we move this it like speeds up and stuff, and on the y-axis that's the frequency. So all the low end is at the bottom and you work your way up, and then all the high, very high frequencies, they're at the top. So like if you take this sound, or like this like C shape of the ear, it kind of starts high pitched and then it branches off in two directions. So this bit's going like lower as this bit's going higher. And yeah, that's how you can visualize what the heck it's doing. Let's use the other one that you sent. Import image. Where is he? This one's gonna be good. That looks so good. This one's gonna sound cool. There you go. It looks like an app. It looks like an app logo. The bunny app. And this sounds like... That's cool. Yeah, I like that. It has, because of the eyes there, it goes like, oh, wow. It has like a bit of a rhythm to it. Yeah, that's sick. I like that. Very cool. Hours of fun. Hours of fun, literally. Yeah, you can import like anything into this, like... So cool. Yeah, like infinite, literally infinite sounds. Because you can just import any image, put it on any, because you can change the like source sound as well. If I won't save the project, I can just load up any quirky sound. A heavy stab from Nasco. What does it sound like? Well, that sounded terrible. That was a bad example. Yeah, weirdness. But yeah, that's how you make those weird ass sounds. Do I show you how I made these? Let's see. I do. Wow, that was way more effects than I used. So that was, if we go back to the base layers, that was these. I showed you how I thought I made them, but that's just like a zappy sound that I am, let's turn all these off, that I am frequency shifting, multiband delay, halves to make it, oh, so I used halves to make it wide, not delay. That's cool. That's giving it a bit of a quirky tail. Oh, and then the pitch shifter with the grain size all the way up to make it all grainy, and then pitching that down, and then soothe to tame it. Yeah, cool. That's how I made those. Nice. Let me... No, we don't want to save that. Cool. Are there any more loops? Wow, I've been going for like an hour and we haven't even got past the bases. Holy heck. The bass one shots. Again, these are me using Vital, dispersing them, squangling them. You know the deal by that. That's a cool bass. Any quirky ones in here? Those are quite cool. If there's any sound that you want me to break down, I can do that if you say. So yeah, these are all the bass one shots. They're like shorter. I mean, most of them aren't, like some of them aren't actually one shots, but shut up. Like yeah, like some of these are a bit longer, like the kick basses, but they're not like loops. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can move it if you'd like. I use these ones in my track Regime that's coming out on Pad. You might be able to hear it in the second drop spoilers. Oh, I can show you how I made these. Because there's not actually a tutorial on how to make these. At least I couldn't find one. So I had to like figure it out myself. But it's like really easy, stupidly easy. So I used FM8 for this. This is like a really old school kind of bass. Not original whatsoever. If I open it, it's the only preset. half of the sounds I make sound like that, Dan. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I just loaded up the preset just so I could see what I did, because I do not use FM8. I think this is just some like growly kind of wavetable. I don't think the actual like synthesis matters too much. It's just like a kind of growly sound that needs processing. Whoops, it doesn't need Edison. It needs processing just to oomph it. Yeah, just a growly sound. Not too interesting. Not too dissimilar to the last sound that we were making either. But the magic happens if you go into the effects and have the talk wah. And this mouth control is the magic. And yeah, that's the sound basically. And you just like automate this till it sounds cool, like. Yeah, pretty easy. An old Atari. I mean, yeah, it might be one of these. Oh, it's like a really, really old sound. FM8 is like a really old plugin at this point now, in the grand scheme of things. I think I want to say 2009. We'll see. We'll see if I was right. FM8 release date. Release date. Oh, not Forza Motorsports 8. 2007. Oh, gotta do my studying. Yeah, that's that fun sound. And then the wonderful amp. She made all these growly boys. Yep, she saved my life because this was right at the end of the pack, and then she sent those in, and I was like, "Thank you. That means I didn't have to make those." That one's called Scrunch. That's a cool word. Oh, these ones are cool. Those ones are really cool. Let me see if I can find the project for those, because it is quite interesting. If not, I can try and recreate it. What would I have called it? These are called like Alien Growth. Morph. I found it. This looks like it. Yeah, so how does one make these sounds? I will show you. This one, yeah, this one's a cool one to show off. Bro, I was a bit optimistic thinking I was going to get through the whole pack today. Oh, Hyper, bro, let me tell you. At the start of this year, I was like, okay, I'm going to be really disciplined about naming my projects because it's so useful. It is so useful. Like, I have this naming system where I write down whether it was like a jam session or like a stream, or if it's a sound design session or a beat yeet or like a full song that I was working on. I would like name it with the prefix of like those, and then it's so easy to like go back and like find whatever I was looking for. Because even if the actual like project itself is like a random ass name, if it's got the like proper prefix, then you can be like, oh, this was a sound design session I did. So then it like narrows down the search. So useful. Trust me, it's so useful. I was doing it with colors as well. Like I had the prefix as colors03, and then this is why I'm finding it quite easy to go back and like see all my projects. Okay, my thought process with this was I wanted to see what would happen if you morphed something to a single cycled wave. So roll, cool. You forgot, yeah. It's try and stick to it because it's so useful. Let me tell you. Yeah, so my thought process was morphing things to like really low pitched saw waves. When you have, let me turn the pitch bend off. When you play a saw wave at a really low pitch, you can hear the individual wave cycles. That's what those clicks are. Yeah, and I wanted to hear because I like that sound. It's like kind of weird and textury. And all I did was put like a weird kind of pitch envelope on it. So it kind of like did had a bit of pitch bend on it, which makes sense. And then I used, that is not being used. Okay, yeah, it is actually. I processed it, so am I doing anything quirky here? I am. Cool. Cool. That sounds really cool. And then I think I morphed it first. So let me show that first. I'll keep the suit on because ouch. So what morph is a FFT vocoder. So it's kind of like a vocoder, but it's not a vocoder. It's really hard to explain and it's really confusing and I don't fully understand it. But it basically like where a vocoder takes a carrier synth and applies that to whatever you're applying it to. So it's like that. The classic is Daft Punk. So their kind of robot voices use a vocoder, and they're probably just like using a saw wave or like a super saw to get that funky sound. But what a more like an FFT vocoder does, it kind of like does magic, and basically like blends the sounds together. It's really cool, and this plugin is really cool. It's by Zynaptic, the same people that make PitchMap, and they make some other cool plugins as well. They make a cool reverb, and yeah, so I'm taking this sound here, and I'm morphing it with this sound, which isn't playing because it needs to be. Which is a very weird sound. Yeah, that's very. That is a very weird sound. I probably didn't start with it sounding like this. I was like choosing. This is from my glitch sample pack. Shameless plug. It's just one of like a random ass glitch sound because I wanted this sound to be like really textured. So yeah, just morphing those two sounds together sounds like this. It just gives it a bit more texture, right? And it gives a bit of the like rhythm and like tonality from the glitch sound, which I thought sounded cool. I smashed that with OTT. So it's uber crunch, mega uber duber crunch. And then they like to get it really vowely. I was using EQ2, which I've never done it like this before. I was automating a kind of peaky high pass filter. High pass filter to get more of this like vowely sound, and I think I was doing it again. I think this is me doubling. Yeah, so it's the exact same filter, one before the distortion and one after the distortion, and the distortion is just like bringing it up, making it crunchy, right? Making it even more crunchy. And yeah, so I doubled up the filters, and that just like doubles up the effect. But yeah, that's basically the sound. And then to get all these variations, I'd like move this around, so that's like a different sound already. Or you can like change the pitch bend, which I did here. Totally different sounds, right? You could change the filter here if you wanted. Make unique, and then do like a really long one, so it goes like wow. Or weird stuff like that, you know. Yeah, that's basically those sounds. So yeah, the concept is morphing a glitch to a really low saw wave that has a pitch bend on it, distorting and compressing that, and then adding a vowely kind of filter. Easy, right, guys? So easy. But yeah, that's that sound. I don't remember how I made these. So easy, right? Yeah, Scratchy gets it. I think this was a lot of just like frequency shifting and like grain stretching random samples. Yeah, I forget. I don't think I can find that project either, because I made this like before the pack. Yeah, those are some yoinks. Really quickly, or to do yoinks. If Serum decides to load. Okay, yeah, to make a yoink in Serum, go to the multi. Which one is it? It's like a double notch filter. No, double thingy filter. Is it that one? Yeah, this one. Or one of these ones. I think it's the high pass notch. Yeah, this one. Ooh, cool. Oh, that's a double one. Yeah, this is the one. The HP12 to get these yoi sounds. Whoa, that sounds really cool. Yeah, turn them resonant really high. Then you want like a envelope that goes like this and like stays up. And then like a really kind of short really short volume. There you go. That's a basic yoi sound. I kind of blitzed through that quite quick. So yeah, it's basically all in the filter. So it's the HP12. It has a envelope triggered LFO, so it stops when it gets to the end. It has like this ramp that kind of ends at the top. So you can see like it holds its shape. It goes like yo. It doesn't go back down. It like instead of like this, because that sounds funky. And then a kind of triangle or trapezoid. Is that a parallelogram? I don't know. This kind of shape on the volume, so it's like really like quick. And then important thing, like that's on the cutoff. So changing the cutoff changes the like timbre of the yoi. That's quite cool. And with the HP12, you have this frequency knob, so you get a secondary like notch filter. And if you push them in like opposite directions, so they kind of like start far apart and then come together close, that's how you get those sounds. Is it a trapezoid? I don't know. I'm gonna Google trapezoid. If I'm right, then I'm so smart. Oh, I'm so smart. It is a trapezoid. I think there's a British word for it, but I can't remember what it is. It's like, I think it's also a parallelogram. I was never good at maths. But yeah. Yeah, so that's the basic shape, and then you can distort it and then distort it and do crazy stuff. And that's how I made those ones, and how I made these ones. Just with different wave tables, different distortion types, like bits of noise in there as well. Yeah, that's the bass one shots. Okay. Oh, we're not even past the first stuff. Oh god, this might have to be a multiple part stream. Oh dear. Maybe I'll do some stuff on. I could do tomorrow, maybe. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see. We'll do color bass layers next. We'll get through the bases at least. Funny. Color bass layers. Let me make a new project so I don't mess up this one. Do not save. Parallelograms. Yeah, they do. Is it like not all parallelograms are all trapezoids are parallelograms, but not all parallelograms are trapezoids? Yeah. You ever think about that? So, color based layers. These are just like sparkly things that I made that you can layer over the top. This one has no name. That was me. That was my bad. That you can layer over the top of color bases or regular bases to give them tonality. They sound like this. And those are the color based layers. Yeah, there's a lot to go through these. So some of these are, I think these ones are done with pitch map, which is the uber mega cheat for all things color base. Yeah, like these ones, all done with pitch map. These ones. A cool trick I find is using glitches. If only there was a sample pack that was full of glitches. So here we have my sample pack. And I like choosing just like weird textury sounds. Oh, I choose the loops. These ones come out quite cool. Anything kind of like bit crushed, pitch map does a good job with, because they're kind of like very distinguishable like tones that it can like fuck with. I can't even see it. Where is he? Pitch map. Hello. There. Haven't used this boy in a bit. Yeah. Wowzers. Let's put it on the glitch verb. All this preset is like everything's turned down, except for the purify, which is the thing that makes it sound colorful. Amazing. We have, so guys, we did it. We made color base. We're gonna put a big sub on this because PitchMap can be a bit ouchy. He can be a bit meany sometimes. Especially if you put the purify like all the way up. Which I think sounds bad. Ooh. That one sounds cool. I was wrong. But yeah, that's the basic premise. I used glitch sounds. I colorized glitches. And one tip with PitchMap, because honestly, I don't like how PitchMap sounds on its own. So the first tip is to like get rid of that awful high end at the top, because this is like terrible. Okay, doesn't sound too bad on this sound, but trust me, you want to like get rid of this like uber high end, and I also want to like say get rid of some of the low end as well, just so you're only colorizing the mid range, because yeah, when you colorize all this stuff, it sounds very bad, and putting PitchMap at the start of the chain is my best advice if you want to make good sounds with PitchMap. Because if it's at the end of the chain, it sounds like you used PitchMap. So like, even just like a reverb, let's put like a cheeky room verb on there. We could use, yeah, and then disperser is your best friend with this kind of stuff. Like anything to like smoothen out the sound. Does a good job. Again, multi-band delay if you want the uber crazy goodness. So you see how we have all that colorful sound, but it doesn't sound too like horribly pitch mapped, you know? Which I think makes it sound way better. Because yeah, PitchMap has a very distinct sound. I mean, so does Retune. All of these like polyphonic auto tunes, they have a very specific sound. PitchMap is way more like less subtle than Retune, so I think especially you wanna give it some extra care when you're making stands with it. Let's go back to the basses, bass loops. You don't just have to put glitches in it as well. You can put literally anything. I put field recordings. I think some of these are, I think it's called like campfire. Like that was like a field recording of like a campfire or like fire sounds, right? I think some of these in the color-based loops, I use meme sounds like what the dog doing or like my name Jeff, and I like turn those into color-based loops because like if you process it and mess them up, you just like won't hear. Yeah, again, that's probably just like a random ass field recording, which I can show you because we have field recordings in the pack. This one might be good because there's like a funny bird sound that's in the background. Or not. Yeah, it's an interesting way to experiment with and get like weird rhythms or like weird textures. I will show you those. I will point out which ones I did. I think I named them after the meme as well, so you people will know. Yeah, that's those. I'm gonna do a whole video on how to colorize stuff. I mean, like AU5 has already done one, but I think it sounds like fun, so I'm gonna do that as well. These ones were made. These ones were made in Ableton, which is sacrilege. I know. I'm sorry, but Ableton has this absolutely amazing plugin called Spectral Resonator, and no joke, it was the entire reason I bought Ableton, because it looked so cool. I just wanted the entire like Ableton Spectral suite, and so I just nabbed Ableton specifically for them, because the Spectral Resonator is, I think I have these sounds as well. Crazy quirky boys. Yeah. These ones, yeah. What a spectral resonator is basically what it sounds like. It's a resonator that you can control the like bands, and it basically turns whatever. It has MIDI support as well, so you can give it chords, which is really cool, because even the default Ableton resonator doesn't have MIDI support, so it's better, immediately better. But yeah, there's one of the modes. One of the modes in it is a granular mode, and what that does is make these sparkles, and oh, I just love the sound. It is so pretty. It's like they're like not harsh sparkles as well. They're like really like nice and watery, and so good for like background layers and stuff if you like chop them up and mess with it. And there's lots of like cool like parameters that you can tweak and fine tune the sounds. Really cool plugin. I'll have to show that if I ever do an Ableton stream. I'll have to show that off. But yeah, check it out. Spectral Resonator. There's also Spectral Time, and there's another one as well in the Spectral suite. Spectral Time's cool as well. You can do like more disperser things. I think it's quite similar to multiband delay. Spectral Time. I think it's exactly the same, like same premise. Yeah, cool. That's pitch map. This one was me trying to do like every color based technique in one sound. So I think I resonated it, I used pitch map, I vocoded it, I convolved it, I I did everything basically. It sounds funny. That was pitch map as well. So was that. I think that was the resonator, built-in FL Studio resonator. I think I did these with the frequency shifter, the Melder frequency shifter. I won't do it because it gets a bit fucky. But if you can mess with the feedback and the LFO, and you get these like cool spectrally stuff. But yeah, it can be a bit harsh. Yeah, I think that's basically all that. It's all, yeah, to colorize stuff, it's just go watch the AU5 video. He does a really good job of breaking down like all the different ways, like resonators, vocoders, FFT vocoders, convolvers. I think he even showed how to do it in Soothe, or like using Soothe as like a spectral mask, and yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah, that brings us on to the loops. That's my favorite one. The one at the end there. Like an all-dressed chip in Canada. What does that mean, Scratch? I like that as a saying. That's funny. I'll quickly go over these. This was my kind of first attempt at figuring out how to do color base. I'll show it like a really briefly. Let me just do like a super saw. Get a super saw or any super saw is quite a good base. Get some chords. Oh, I can use some chords from the pack. Let's do that. If we go to MIDI or non-sample and then MIDI. Or that sounds cool. That one color based sample that you do all the thingies to. Oh, I get you now. Because I processed it. So this sound, what do I call it? Color wob. Yeah, these sounds here. Oh, I'm not on the wrong thing. Color based loops. These were made with this processing chain, which is OTT going into a Fruity Balance, which you create an automation clip for. And then I'll do this in order, like that. And then I do like plucky automations like this. That's the basic shape. And then 2 M phases, which is basically like dispersioning the sound. With a light room reverb for like space and wideness. And then with this sound, you basically layer up a bunch of different crap, right? So the bass doesn't have to be a super saw. It could be a piano, or it could be a bell if you want. It could be literally anything. And then all you got to do is just route everything to the same. So I just added like just a mid bass. And I'm going to send that to the same channel as the wubs. And then it adds that to it. Which is fun. And then for the fun of it, let's add like a keyboard. Get some like plinky oinky plonky kind of sound. Just use the default one just for fun. And then we're going to turn it to an ARP. Just go to the ARP mode and go like that. Excuse me. Make it really fast, like. Something like that. That's what it sounds like on its own. And then you run it through this. Cut the learn just to be clean. And then put everything. If we turn this main one down. You get the idea. You just layer it up with a bunch of stuff. You can add violins, vocals, yeah, like mid basses, chords and stuff. I like this method because there's like no surprises on what kind of chords are going to come out, which is nice if you want like a really specific chord progression. Using like pitch map and retune is kind of more if you want to like have happy accidents. And have kind of like chord progressions kind of more suggested to you. that you can then build off of. But yeah, this is like, oh, if you want a really specific chord progression, then you can just like straight up build it from the ground up and make some fun stuff. Yeah, really easy. Literally just like a balance going into dispersion on a bunch of different elements. And you can do this like on, you can resample stuff. So I could like throw in the demo tracks, right? Where are they? They're in bonus. This is just the demo tracks. Mute everything else. Which one doesn't have... Let's use the D&B one, because that one doesn't have drums at the start. So we have this sound. Yeah, we have that sound, right? It's just like a pad, basically, from a full mixed song. We send that through it. Creepy vibe, right? Totally vibe changes it, and you can like pitch it around, like totally resample anything at all, like really cool. Yeah, really cool stuff. Like, that's all weird. We're resampling another color-based loop. That's pretty meta, isn't it? We're making a color-based loop from a color-based loop. But yeah, you can do that with like full songs as well. Let's drag one of my songs in. Which one? Let's do Cascade, because that's a pretty one. Cascade. That has some bits with no drums. Yeah, it works best with tracks with like no drums, because as you heard, the drums got a bit fuzzy. Pretty. If we... Yeah, like totally different vibe. That's pretty cool, actually. And then you can process this more, right? Like it don't have to end there. I'd probably put a portal on this and then kind of do some weird stretchy stuff. Like I think it's in the pitch. Mangled Smear is I like this one. You get some cool sounds like that. Very cool, actually. I like that a lot. That is pretty cool. And or if like I was using the portal at the end of the chain, but you could put it at the start of the chain and then which is like a totally different vibe to if we turn all this off. This is the blooming sky in the depths of the Cascade. So that's a good way to not get sued, because no one will know what song you're using. Cool technique. Big recommend. Yeah, that's why I made that. This was a Convolver. I was using Fruity Convolver with a tonal impulse. I think it was a pad I used. Yeah, you can drag things into here. Let's do an example quick. Let's do a zap. Let's tonalize a zap. Tonalize, that's a cool word. That would be a cool name for a color-based song. Tonalize. Someone saved that. You can steal that, Hyper. Let's go pew, like way faster. And very cool. Basic zap. And then we put Fruity Convolver on it. I do not doubt your capabilities there. I totally feel that you could do that. So this is Fruity Convolver, comes with FL. There's lots of different convolvers out there. There's Fog Convolver, which is pretty cool. Ableton has Hybrid Reverb, which is stock, I think, in Live 11. There's probably free ones. I don't know of any free ones because I have this. And then, yeah. In the previous packs, we've had Reverb Impulses. And those are used specifically for this stuff. If you turn the dry down. Yeah, and yeah. I basically did that. I basically did that for some of these color bases, like these ones. But I think actually I dragged in pads into here because that can always sound pretty cool. So if you go to the melodic stuff, drag in a pad. But if we kind of cut it, so it's just more of like a, because you don't want the full length of the pad, right? You just want like a, even that's very long. Cut it down so it's like really short. That's pretty cool. That was a bad pad to use as an example, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole video on this anyway, on how I colorize stuff, which would be a fun video. What else? This one I'm also gonna do a video on how I made them, because it's quite a fun process. And maybe we'll do that when we get to the bass one shots. I can show you those quick because that'll be one of the last things I do. Yeah, God, wow! I really thought imagine thinking I was gonna get through the whole pack in one stream. Lamau, big scrub. I might do an earlier stream tomorrow, depending on what I'm up to. Yeah, maybe I'll do an earlier stream tomorrow, and then I can get through it because I wanted to do the streams before the fundraiser ends to trick people into buying it. No, to just to show it off a bit, because I don't. I think it's quite cool to like see what's actually inside it, you know. This one I made by resampling a whole song. And then like all the cool stuff comes from multiband delay by automating the scale knob. Like, was that on the right? Oh yeah, cool. If I turn this off but route that to this, then we can. Yeah, I put like a full track through it, and then I was just like automating this to get interesting. Wow, that's really long. I was automating like this to get interesting like sounds from it, basically. That's cool. Weird sounds, I like them. Yeah, it's just about messing with random shit like that. Really easy to get cool tonal sounds from that, and that's all I did. I don't think I processed it much either, because it was like a full mix song. These are Convolver stuff. I think that was Convolver stuff as well. I made this one on a stream, on the Making a Drop stream. I think that was the last stream, stream number 3. So if you want to know how I made this, I literally go through the whole process. But to like quickly break it down, it was like a percussion sound, like just literally something like this, that I like frequency shifted, dispersed, put retune on it, and then added the sub, literally. Yeah, really easy. And then like layered it with a bunch of like sparkly shit. Yeah, that's basically all the loops. Color-based one-shots. These are the fun stuff. Oh yeah, those are all the gunshots basically, and then there's these 2 quirky ones at the end. And I really like this one, and I want to use it in a track somehow, but it's like, how the fuck am I going to use that in a track? It's so weird. It sounds kind of Leo Trixie though. I quite like it. And that was with pitch map, using my glitches again, my glitch pack. And that was just from a remix that I made. Go on then, we'll go through this. Let me find this project of how I made the color guns. Bra, bra, bra. Oh god, where is it? Bear with me as I frantically search. It might even just be called color guns. Color guns. Let's see. Oh, I hope I can find it, because that would be cool. Cool one to end it on. Ah, here we go. Oh yeah, because I think I made these before the pack, and then I made a couple more specifically for the pack, which is fun. If it loads, it's being slow. How many people we got watching? 2. Just me and you, Hyper. We're chilling. Thank you very much for sticking around. I hope that it hasn't been too boring or too much info dumping. You get all the sauce. Just you. Other than when the stream pod goes live, but shush. Here we go. This is the super uber mega secret magicness of how I made these boys. I'm glad you find it interesting. That's good. Right. Let's go. Let's break it down layer by layer, shall we? Let's turn the processing off. Cool. Wow. Cool. So this is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. The first being, so we have the tonal layer, which basically makes up the main bulk of the sound. Pretty much all of these are like the same base shape, and then what I would change was the tonal layer. So that's what all these different variations are. And then we have a mid-bass layer. Always important to have. That's just a crunchy thing that I've made. Big chonker of a sub. Yeah, that's just like, I think this is like a preset I made like ages ago. It's just like a really over-the-top heavy sub bass. Yep, just a funky, wiggly sine wave with a shaper box for the noise, I think. Yep, noise shaper with a bit of subtle chorus noise, going into 2 distortions just to make a crunchy boy, basically. And the next layer is like a kind of wide layer. So this is where the bass, the color bass layers would kind of be useful, like, yeah, like this kind of stuff. Like layering this here would be cool. Just something wide and watery, just to give the sound a bit more like of a stereo image. And then just a transient. In this case, yeah, literally just a little tap. Because it's like a gun bass, you kind of want it to be like pap, pap, pap. Really transient heavy, right? And so without the tonal layer, it sounds like that. And that's just all the layers combined. And then the Uber source is routing them all to the same track. So the mid, bass, the sub, everything goes into the same track, which has a multi-band delay on it. Surprise, surprise. Which is just dispersing the sound. A bit over the top. Which is cool. But yeah, as you can hear, it kind of sounds a bit weak without the tonal layer, which basically like is that's the whole sound, right? And what the tonal layer is, if we turn off all the processing, that's the tonal layer, which again is a glitch sound, which you have noticed that I do a lot. So yeah, I just chose some random ass glitch from this is from Colors 2 actually. This one, a cool squonga sound that you wow, there's a lot of processing on this. Very cool. These are not being used, so I will move those there. And what I do is just cut the low end because we have a sub and we have a mid bass, so we don't want any low end gonna be interfering with those because they're being layered together. A frequency shifter, which you just like, depending on the sound, you kind of like change the tone. Yeah, this is quite a good tip. Putting a frequency shifter before a retune or a pitch map is a really easy way to like get variations. So yeah, I have a retune on, which is in the key of the root note. Yep, basically it. It's cheating. And putting as I said, putting a frequency shifter before the retune is a really easy way to get like different variations like immediately. Because it's it doesn't matter that it's atonal, because if we turn the retune off, it's like that sounds awful. But the retune keeps everything in the defined key that we've set. And that just sounds cool. And I like that a lot. No worries at all. We're basically coming to the end anyway, so don't you worry. Thank you very much for sticking by for as long as you did. I hope you've found some stuff interesting, and I hope you can watch it back and use it as a good resource. That's basically the sound though, and then Digitalis is oh, I'm using myself as a as a wavetable. That's very good, or as a filter. Very funny. Which is just making it all spectrally. and then punch is just compressing it, and then adding reverb. See you, man. Thanks for tuning in. You be safe. And then yeah, just reverb at the end of the chain, just for the like space in the tail, which sounds pretty cool without all the dispersion. But yeah, I think the dispersion adds a good tone to it. And that's basically it. So yeah, it's just 5 layers, a tonal layer, which is made up of a colorized glitch sound with reverb, mid bass, fat sub, a kind of sparkly wide layer, and a transient. And then you just render that into one thing like this. And then you can just use these, like just chop it up, you know, like you get cool tones with it. If you like change the position, and cool thing to have, cool sound design trick. And yeah, just infinite possibilities. You can easily replace this sound with like you can add a bass sound into the colorful layer, and it will like immediately just get colorized. So here's this sound, completely just sub and awfulness. Whoops. Yeah, immediately gets color. Try another one. A yoy. Instant change. Instant, a million ideas, infinite sounds. Yeah. Cool technique. And I think we have come to the end of yeah, this one's just like a super saw that I put a valve filter on. Easy. Very easy. And we have come to the end of the basses. Yeah. I thought I was going to get through the whole pack, but I talk too much. So I might be back tomorrow to finish this up. Oh my god. Bro, I thought I was going to get through this. That is hilarious. So I think I will end it there for tonight. Yeah, we got through one category, but there was a lot in that category, so I think we did well. I think the bass is actually, the bass loops and the bass one shots is like one of the larger of the pack, so there we go. Yeah, I think that'll do me for tonight. Let me put the Hypnosis Buy My Sample Pack back up again while we end the stream. I'll put a bit of music on just to play us out. Let's put Disintegrate on. Yeah, so thank you to everyone that tuned in and everyone that was watching. And thank you to, if you're watching this on the VOD. That means a lot. I'm glad I hope you've got some useful stuff out of it. The link to buy the pack is in the description. It's only $5 until the end of the month. We're doing a fundraiser. All the money goes to charity, and then at the end of the month, the pack will be made available for free. So get on that if you haven't. Oh, hey, bro. You missed yourself. We were talking about you earlier. I was showing the funny bases that we made together. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off now. So cheers, bye. Thank you.